It's football season again, and unlike politics and religion, sports is supposed to be the one universal activity that people can enjoy or discuss without the usual controversies associated with the human condition. So one would expect that sports news shows and networks would be the last place that you would hear about politics, let alone be subjected to political propaganda, but unfortunately, that's not true these days. In the past, sports and politics would occasionally intersect, but usually only when a star athlete joined the cause and their involvement was part of a human interest story. It was usually void of much controversy because their activities weren't divisive or controversial, but instead humanitarian in nature. But recently, many sports writers, websites, and television networks have become liberal propaganda outlets, promoting left-wing causes and putting athletes on pedestals who become token symbols of the liberal agenda. The entire NBA and NFL endorsed the Black Lives Matter movement, and turned Colin Kaepernick, the former San Francisco 49 player who refused to stand during the national anthem before the games, into a hero for starting the trend. When the 2020 NBA season began after a long delay from the COVID-19 pandemic, many of the players wore special jerseys with social justice messages printed on them in place of their last names on the back. The league worked with Nike to make the Black Lives Matter jerseys. This was in response to the riots really, that spread across the country last summer when it became mandatory for sports leagues to condemn white people for systemically ruining black people's lives. The basketball stadium where the quarantined players held their games even painted a gigantic Black Lives Matter on the court. The NFL also kicked off the 2020 season with the Black National Anthem being performed at the start of each game during week 1 in order to help raise awareness about how white people are being blamed for all of the problems in other racial groups' neighborhoods in America. Even NASCAR became political in 2020 when they banned drivers and fans from displaying any Confederate flags at races. Just 2 days after the league's only half-black driver, Bubba Wallace, made the demand. Then, a week and a half later, Bubba became a hero overnight for standing up against the imaginary hate crime that 15 FBI agents wasted their time investigating to then admit the obvious, that the supposed noose was just the handle on the rope of a garage door. After Amazon obtained the naming rights to Seattle's NHL arena, formerly called the Key Arena, they changed the name to Climate Pledge Arena to raise awareness for climate change. So now fans can't even watch a hockey game in Seattle without the constant reminder to be on the lookout for global warming. Not even the Super Bowl halftime shows are safe from becoming avenues to deliver political messages, with musical guests sometimes incorporating social justice propaganda into their performances. In 2015, ESPN gave Caitlyn Jenner the Arthur Ashe Courage Award, choosing her over others, including double amputee Noah Galloway, who is an Iraq war veteran and, despite missing one arm and one leg and becoming a competitive distant runner, CrossFit athlete, and winning third place on Dancing with the Stars. Jenner hadn't played competitive sports since the 1980s when she was Bruce, and Sports Illustrated also put her on the cover at the age of 66, wearing the gold medal that she won at the 1976 Olympics as Bruce 40 years earlier. Not long after this, ESPN fired baseball analyst Curt Schilling because he posted a meme on his personal Facebook page criticizing new transgender bathroom laws, which allow biological males to use women's bathrooms, locker rooms, and showers. All major sports leagues now host an annual Pride Night where they celebrate LGBT people, decorate their stadiums in rainbows, and bring special guests to the games from the LGBT community. To make sure everything is gay enough, they even have gay men's choirs sing the national anthem. Today, most, if not all, NBA teams host one each year, but it's not just the NBA. The NFL launched their own annual Pride Night as well to show their commitment to the LGBT agenda, and as of 2018, every Major League Baseball team except one hosted an annual Pride Night event. The following year, the one holdout, the Yankees, gave in and then also awarded scholarships to various LGBT students. Even the NHL hosts an annual Pride Night where they decorate the stadiums in rainbow colors and the players use hockey sticks wrapped in rainbow color tape to show their support. You can't even go to a hockey game these days without having the leftist propaganda being being shoved in your face. Many people are growing tired of politics being intertwined with sports coverage, especially when the issues aren't even remotely related, and polls began showing that it was causing viewers to tune out. In 2017, ESPN laid off 100 people, including several on-air personalities, and then 6 months later, they laid off another 150 people. This was after ESPN reportedly lost an average of 15,000 subscribers a day in October alone, estimating a total decline of almost 500,000 people. In the fiscal year of 2018, they lost 2 million subscribers. While some of the losses can be ascribed to cord cutters ditching cable in favor of streaming services, a significant portion was due to fans becoming sick of players protesting during the national anthem and politics being intertwined with their sports. In 2019, the sports news website Deadspin sent out a memo to their editors and staff telling them to stick to sports and stop covering politics, since the website had steadily drifted into regularly complaining about President Trump. The memo said in part, Deadspin will write only about sports and that which is relevant to sports in some way. The editor-in-chief then decided to plaster the entire website with political and pop culture news in protest and was immediately fired. He then unironically tweeted that he had just been fired from Deadspin for not sticking to sports. Members of the staff then quit en masse to show solidarity with the editor and also protest the new stick to sports policy. Yes, people who worked for a sports website quit when management told them to write about sports. Sports are supposed to be an outlet for people to get away from the stress and responsibilities we face during the work week. And the last thing that most sports fans want is to have politics brought up when they're trying to enjoy their favorite game. But unfortunately, stick to sports is no longer the motto for most sports entertainment outlets. While playing sports is a great way for kids and adults to stay physically fit and learn about working together with others, the artificial importance placed on professional sports entertainment largely serves as a type of bread and circus distraction, diverting people's attention and energy away from important problems in their own lives and in society. Instead, the focus is put on the concerns about whose team is going to win and which players are injured or may get traded and other trivial and meaningless controversies, which, when you boil them down, do nothing other than serve to keep people pacified with things that lack any real importance whatsoever. George Orwell summed this phenomena up in his prophetic novel 1984 when he wrote that films, football, beer, and above all gambling filled the horizon of their minds. To keep them in control, the general public, was not difficult. Another great book that everyone should read aside from 1984 is my book, Hollywood Propaganda: How TV, Movies, and Music Shape Our Culture. So get it in paperback from Amazon.com or download the ebook onto your tablet from any of the major ebook stores. And of course, there's a link to the Amazon listing in the description below. So click it and head on over there and check it out.